Let's talk about the monster in marriage, or actually the monster in any relationship, romantic relationship especially. But over the years, I've coached and mentored and trained hundreds of people, and in the process of that, the all of these people have relationships, spouses, boyfriends, partners, and so what I've noticed is this tendency we have, see if this might apply to you, is where we fall in love. We're falling in love. Oh my gosh, I got to be with them. You move heaven and earth. You get resourceful. You get motivated. You don't need sleep. You don't need to eat. Everything is about, and it's what I call the honeymoon phase, which is so fun. I mean, it's just fun, and I don't want to put any black little rain cloud over the honeymoon phase because I loved it. It was so fun. What I want to bring attention to, though, is that this principle of love, especially romantic love, but it actually would play out into friendship as well. But let's just stay with this. Is this thing about I'm in love with them correlated? My assertion it is. It's correlated to how that person makes me feel about me. It's still the little monster lie at the core that told me I wasn't good enough, I wasn't pretty, I wasn't perfect, I wasn't worthy, I wasn't smart, I was whatever, not special. Whatever the little lie was that my little self adopted and my whole identity was created from as a result, kind of like the little irritant in the clamshell that turns into a pearl. Well, this one has the other way around. It starts as a pearl, and then the clamshell actually distorts it and ruins it. The wiring that we were put into from our perfect little essence soul, and this fear-based wiring has now created our identity, which is we're still asking the emotional question of our little self that we came in emotionally asking, am I okay? Am I okay? Am I acceptable? The survival brain programmed that in us so that, number one, well, mainly so we'd survive. But because we have to be taken care of, our species is communal. We don't survive on our own for a long time. So the survival brain of us, that part of our development, created this emotional question. That's all we had. We did not have our logical brain to understand things when we were little. We didn't even fully develop that till mid-20s. So just saying. But this emotional question that came in asking, pre-language, pre-logic, pre-everything. I mean, this probably was even in the womb when this question was running. Am I okay? Will you accept me? Will you take care of me? AKA, and without language, it's just a feeling. It's a radar. And the survival brain also has it be all about you. Without logic, it's anything that's wrong. It's it's me. I better take care of it because it's because of me. That's why kids of divorce, children of divorce or abuse, many times, if not all the time. I don't know of anyone who hasn't had this wiring, but let's just say the majority of people, kids, feel like when their parents get divorced, or if there's any problems in their home at all, or if they were even sexually or physically abused in any way, it was their fault. They didn't have a reasoning brain to figure it out. So romantic love just becomes, I remember when I was a teenage girl, I was so flippin' boy crazy. Oh, do you love me? Will you love me? Will you love me? Will you love me? And how many, especially girls, but it happens both sexes, I'm sure. Can speak to the girl. How many problems arise because that little voice is emotionally still asking, will you love me? Will you love me? And so this also explains why in marriage, the honeymoon phase, the 7-year itch kind of thing, because I will only love you as long as you make me feel good about me. The minute you stop making me feel good about me, we might be done. We might be done. Because it's without doing this inner work, without aligning to the truthfulness of who you really, 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 really are and always were. You never, ever, ever, ever needed to do anything. You never needed to prove. The lie was that you weren't okay. That's the little lie that our little selves adopted and became the monster under the proverbial bed in our lives today. Because that little scared child that still doesn't feel loved or accepted or worthy or perfect or any of those things is still under the bed, scared, because they did not have the right equipment to process their identity accurately. So then we look to external sources in all of our relationships, but it really shows up in marriage, in these romantic, because if he completes me, she completes me. No, that doesn't work long term. You don't need anyone to complete you. You are one, you are already. You are not becoming, you are discovering. You already are and always were. And it's the wiring of that old identity, ego, fear-based brain that has you looking out here for someone that's going to confirm this thing that can never be confirmed from an external source. It's an inside job. I help people do this. I help people with this rewiring to their true self. It has to be done emotionally, not cerebrally. It needs to be done with process and time and repeated emotional rewiring exercises. So let's just think about that. Think about your romantic relationships and how maybe you were looking for something that could never be accomplished from another human being. You have to do it yourself, and you can. There's hope.